Studio. This is Cheap Beer for you to drink. My name is JJ. All right, thanks again to a friend of the channel who comes through a lot with some really interesting beers. I appreciate it. Knew someone that was in Michigan and saw Schlitz. Hey, I'm so excited. This has been the beer I've been the most excited to try. Since I joined, there's a Facebook group. I've talked about it several times now. It's called Support Bad Beer. And I have seen some very interesting beers in there. And one that caught my eye and one a lot of people hype up is Schlitz here. And then I saw someone share a photo of the Bull. And this I had seen before. There's a liquor store by me that always had this. And I always judged it. Like, oh, that's got to be awful. Um, it's just like your standard malt liquor packaging. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. And then one day I noticed the Schlitz logo. And I'm like, oh, what? They have Schlitz around me. But it's the malt liquor version, the Bull, at 5.9%. Finally got around to trying it. Love it. I would say this is my favorite malt liquor. Colt 45 is another one I really enjoy. It's around the same ABV. The other one I really, really like is Hurricane. That's at like 8%. But I think my favorite is Schlitz the Bull. And now I get to try just regular old Schlitz. Super duper excited. So I'll be trying it and comparing it to the Bull, which I can find readily near me. Well, not really. It is available to find near me. Not many places have it, and actually the place I picked it up had an expired can. So December of 24 is the best by date on this one, whereas August 25 is the best by date on this one. Let me get the cat hair off the can. Yeah, let's try it. Schlitz. Yeah, I might as well pour them out side by side to see how different they are. Um, yeah, I was really surprised by how good the Bull is. So I've had the Blue Bull, and most recently I got to try Schlitz Red Bull, and I'm not as big of a fan. Ooh, the Bull is a little darker, maybe. Yeah, not as big of a fan of the Red Bull as I am the Blue Bull. I think there's also like a gold or a yellow one out there, and there might be a green one, I think. The yellow one, if I'm not mistaken, is like 8%. I would love to try that, but who knows when I'll find that one. Just glad to find regular Schlitz. All right, let's talk about it. Established 1849. That's so cool. What does it say on the side of the can? La Crosse, Wisconsin. Beer, 4.6% alcohol. Schlitzbrewing.com. I think this can is from La Crosse because it says LX on the bottom of the can. You would assume that stands for La Crosse. Let's see if we can figure out where this one was made. No idea. I can't really. M? I don't know. December 16th, 2024. Yeah, it's an old can. I can't wait any longer. Let's try Schlitz. So, yeah, 4.6 compared to 5.9 here. It smells so good. That smells so nice. How do they... The regular Schlitz smells a lot more pleasant. Very, very, very... That's one of the best smelling beers I've smelled in a long time. Very nice smell. Smells very pleasant. But the interesting thing is, now I got to do this because that tastes almost identical to what the Bull tastes like to me. So let me try this. That's very odd. Those are almost indistinguishable. Let me try it again. Oh, I was not expecting that at all. I was not expecting them to taste exactly the same. But having them side by side, that is so odd. So my big fear was that I was gonna really like the Schlitz original more than the Bull because I can find the Bull if I look hard enough. I can't find just the regular old Schlitz. But I was not expecting them to taste not even similar or very close. I would say those taste identical. I I would not be able to tell you the difference between those two. That is odd. I've never had a malt liquor version or a higher ABV version of a beer that tastes exactly like the beer. That is just weird. Let me try them out of the can. Now that is okay. I'm exactly the same. Exactly one for one, like a carbon copy. It's interesting how that is 1.5% more alcohol. So I'm doing a bad job of explaining how good Schlitz is. Schlitz is a very good malt liquor. I was not expecting the regular beer to taste like that. No, I would 100% every day of the week pick up the Bull if they taste so close. And the Bull is that much cheaper. Let me tell you the pricing. I got a 4 pack today of Schlitz the Bull for $3.99. So $1 a can for a 6%. We're gonna round up a 6% malt liquor. A 6 pack of Schlitz was picked up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, I believe. A 6 pack for $9, both 16-ounce cans. Um, if they taste identical, and I cannot stress that enough, I don't think anyone would be able to tell the difference between these two. I would be surprised if you could. I thought the Schlitz would be a little easier to drink. It's not. Neither one of these is more enjoyable than the other. I'm just saying pick up the Bull because you can probably find it cheaper. You can might be able to find it a little easier in your area. At least in Ohio, my state, I can find that. I can't find that. Cheaper, higher ABV, taste exactly the same. Pick up the Bull every single day of the week. I was not expecting this at all. I am so surprised. That would be like Budweiser tasting exactly like Bud Ice, and they don't taste exactly the same. I'm just trying to think of another. I guess no, that's the bad example because Bud Ice is not. I guess King Cobra would be a better example there. I'm just so surprised. That is odd. This tastes like a malt liquor, but it is just, regular old lager. I don't think they put malt in this. That shouldn't be the case, but it tastes like it has malt in it. Weird. I could ramble on. I'm just very surprised that at this. All right. If you've had Schlitz the Bull, you've essentially had Schlitz. If you've had Schlitz before, you've essentially had the Bull. If you haven't had them before, man, is that my favorite malt liquor. It's so easy to drink at 5.9%. Um, I've got no complaints about it. It's just so pleasant. I'm surprised that this one smelled a lot better, but tasted just the same. It's just such a nice beverage. It's a really, really good beer. For a beer that's been around this long, I think of other beers like Blatz and stuff like that, and this is much better than that. Um, it's just a good heritage beer that's been around for a long time, and I hope it sticks around. Well, it's been around 180 years almost. Hope it's around for another 180. Um, just absolutely yummy stuff. And the fact that the Bull tastes just like it, it's just so odd to me. All right, I'm gonna end it here because boy, am I just gonna ramble on. But yeah, the Bull, love it. Schlitz, love it, but pick this one up because why not? A little higher ABV, probably higher calories, of course, but it's not a light beer. You're not drinking this because, you know, your calories aren't on your mind. Is there a Schlitz light? There's a Blatz light. Is there a Schlitz light? That's a good question. I don't know. Now I've got to try the rest of it. I got to try the yellow can. I think there's a green can. Maybe I'm just making that up. My official ranking of all the Schlitz that I've had so far: Blue Bull, regular Schlitz beer, and then Red Bull. Red Bull was brewed a little longer, I think. A little more flavor, a little toasty flavor, but I would rather have this or that. All right, cheap beer for you to drink. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm just surprised, very surprised. If you see any new products out there, let me know. On the lookout always for new stuff. If I haven't reviewed your favorite beer, there's so many beers out there that I would love to try. If you see one out there, let me know. I plan on traveling more to pick up some stuff. So, yeah, you should be seeing more beers right here on Cheap Beer for you to drink. Thanks for watching.